with that, we need to start thinking about the year in review. There we go. So I said I picked out my top thumbnails of the year. I did a reasonably good job doing it. Here we go. Doink, share screen. Let's start talking about the year in review. So this is from January 4th, right? Toxic fandoms weird lack of life skills to cope with the failure of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. Let's try this again. Don't be an angry, spoiled cunt. Well, Russell, mate, so you also see the mood change over the year with Russell T Davies, right? Where at this point we thought he was going to be sane, right? And like try and like bring these spoiled, angry weirdos into reality. No. He pulled Doctor Who into the like pandered to them, right? But yeah, look, this was an ongoing story of like, man, you forget the beginning of this year, the meltdown, the relentless meltdowns about Jodie Whittaker sucking as Doctor, because by the time we reached Christmas, right, last year, it became socially acceptable to say that Jodie Whittaker was shit, right? And basically, as soon as David Tennant showed up again, it became socially acceptable to say she was shit. So this became an ongoing bullshit of the year, right? Oh my god. Listen, look, these you got to remember these kids are just kids, right? These kids are just idiot kids. Russell Davies was old enough and should know better, right? Russell Davies is a sport. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. However, okay, one of the high spots of Doctor Who came out very early, also January 4th last year. The War Doctor Begins, Volume 4. This was fan-frickin-tastic, right? There's a couple of volumes they did of this, which was good. So this is Jonathan Carey playing John Hurt, right? And it's a really good one. So this is essentially Apocalypse Now with the War Doctor. I really like this one, right? This was really up there. In general, that first run of 4 box sets were excellent with the War Doctor. I'm glad they're continuing again with the Sontarans, which is that's essentially why I pre-ordered that range. But yeah, look, this was one of Big Finish's successes of the year, which they didn't have that many. So then, Doctor Who Missing Story animations return in 2023. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. I see Jamie back. And I hope they give us some of those swanky Disney animes. No, they don't. Frankly, Underwater Menace. I mean, it was a shit story. And it felt, honestly, with what happened later in the year, it feels like we're this style of animation is over and dated, right? It does feel like technology has passed it by. We're going to find out why later in the year. Do you like how I played up the blackface on Maverick Shen? This was from Doctor Who magazine. They had Rusty Davies say, I have Shooty Gatwa say Maverick Shen, right? I'm like, well, how are they going to Maverick Shen on? He literally was played by Kevin Stoney in blackface, right? Which is really true. I'm sorry. Wait, I'm in blackface. Shh, no one knows. It was a black and white years. And William Hartnell says, that's how I originally planned to play the part. He thought about playing the part as in blackface. I kid you not, right? I kid you not, right? Is there another animation coming up now? I can't remember. I really can't remember. But the Underwater Menace was not Underwater Menace. It was reasonably shit, right? By early on in the year, we realized things were a bit crazy now, right? We've become somewhat used to it, but things were just. I was actually up until Doctor Who, the whole trans thing was actually calming down, right? And then the Starbeast happened, right? How things got so crazy so quickly. Essentially, I think it's because social media was being run and controlled, mostly by the intelligence services, right? So, given that the CIA are a bunch of pedophiles, it's not surprising that pedophilia is getting more normalized, right? Once ago, many times this year, we had Prince Harry, right? Just what a prat. Like, what an incredible prat he is. The sad cautionary tale of Harry, the prat prince possessed by pussy. I do like the headline. Thank you very much. I'm like, okay, relentlessly stupid, right? Everyone's talking about the YouTube animation. Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a minute. It goes on. We're doing the year in chronological order. So we're up to January 16th, and then we were reviewing one of the greatest obscenities ever, and that they made 2 seasons back to back. Mindy Kailig's Velma was shit beyond shit beyond shit beyond shit. It was. I hope they were embarrassed by how shit it actually, because it was like just awful, right? So Mindy Kaling was a self-insert as Velma. Daphne's Asian, I think, in this. Shaggy's black. It's just shit, right? It's relentlessly shit, and there was nothing good about this. There really was. It was just an absolute atrocity. And they got another season of it coming, amazingly. Well done, HBO Max. You guys are morons, right? You guys are absolute morons. Meanwhile, this was HBO. This started out looking like it'll be a good show, right? I now, at this point, at the end of it, I can't stand Bella Ramsey, and I will run screaming everything she's in. I'm sick to fuck of what's the name? Mandalorian over here. Pedro Pascal. Right? Look, Pedro, mate, you look like Lee Majors in 1976. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Could you just again, and you had some really great episodes in this. Like a few weeks later, by episode 3, you had the absolutely fantastic was it Nick Offerman episode? Super gay. Right? That was a super gay episode of TV. One of the best hours on TV I see. Just absolutely fantastic. And then a few weeks later, you had Bella Ramsey being gay, and it was shit. Right? Stop with your gay shit. Oh, eventually, TV's only going to work if you get somebody of the same sex to wank you off into a catchment area. All right? Because you got to be gay to watch TV. So then we saw something else coming this year. We had The Mandalorian Season 3 directed, and I was very enthused by this, right? I'm one of the people who actually enjoyed Mandalorian Season 3, right? I really am. I actively enjoyed it. It was, look, The Mandalorian was Katie Sackhoff rather than Pedro Pascal. That didn't bother me at all. Right? It really didn't bother me at all. And Mandalorian remains the best thing in the Star Wars universe. That's like saying you are the best thing in a pile of shit. Right? Yeah, look, how do you save the Star Wars universe? Slash and burn. Just get rid of everything and start again. Slash and burn is what I would recommend. However, I do like the Mando stuff. I will probably save that. Picasso 3 trailer reaction. Take another look. This might be good. I couldn't believe for a second this will be good. I watched the last part of it the other day because it's just so good, right? Perhaps the best next generation Star Trek there's ever been. But who'd have thought that coming? This was really one of the high spots of the year, right? Like, who would have thought that? That this show would turn around. Even they take even existing characters that were like Raffi and made them workable, right? Everything about it was good. By January 20, a range had died at Big Finish. This was quite a good release, as it happens. I have to tell you, the world of Big Finish, enemies and allies and enemies. Well, they're not making, haven't made any more. There's no more, nothing in the Blake 7 range announced. Look, this was a way to try and continue the range that now everybody's dead. Essentially, and they said we didn't want to just find another liberator. Well, you're schmuck. You should have done, right? Okay, here's what you could do. That you have a pilot episode, The Way Back, right, where it's set like 50 years, 100 years later after Blake 7, and it's essentially the same plot. You have a bunch of prisoners, and they find a derelict ship, a derelict alien ship, the Liberator. They go into it, but this time there's a bunch of people there in suspended cryoanimation, right? You have Jenna, you have whoever's alive, essentially, right? You have Villa, whoever you want, right? Whoever you want. Brian Croucher, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Whoever you fucking want there, right? And it's an amalgam of the old and new crew, the mystery of why they're there, how this happened. It's like, hundreds of years late. It's like, again, a lot later, so you got to explore the universe. That's how you continue it, right? Give that, because that's what people want. People want Liberator. People want Zen. Right? We don't. If you have to have different characters, because Paul Darrow's died. That's just the way it is. However, that last they did 2 seasons in the middle of season 3, and that last one when Paul Darrow died, and they just found dialogue just worked perfectly. Right? Something else that had I would say a pretty good comeback this year was Big Finish's Space 1999 Volume 3 Dragon's Domain. Look, they know they fucked up with all the wokeness on the one beforehand, which was the one before that. Were they going to go back to Earth? I can't remember. But that was basically a very bad Brexit analogy. They completely overplayed it. As I know that they know, right? Like from personal conversation, I know that they know. So this was trying to come back to form. I like this. I like this range. This is one of the best ranges at Big Finish. So I'm sticking with this one. I don't know how long Big Finish is going to work for. Look at the optimism we had. Look at who was joining Beat the Meat? A chick with a fucking dick. The canonization of classic Doctor Who comics. Who might be joining Beat the Meat? Now, the thing is this. It's there is no canon anymore. Right? Again, you got that. It's not that it fits in canon. There is no. If you want it to be, yeah, sure, why not? But although I do like my modern version of Shade, or is it Fade? I can't remember. And Absalom Dak, as played by Henry Cavill. This was hilarious. The terror of the Master, Toxic Fandom Lives come out for Big Finish. They were very mad. That this was being. Now, this is excellent, by the way, and I wish they would do more of these. The schmucks, they do these books on tape, but they're like 6-7 discs long, and it's too long. Like, it really is too long. Like, I kept going through Evil of the Daleks because it was very good, but this is 3 discs. 3 discs is a dream. That's exactly the right length. It makes it feel like you're watching an episode of Doctor Who. Right, I had John Colcher reading this, who does the Delgado Master perfectly. He does a great Brigadier. He does a great Doctor. You're very immersed in the story, Terror of the Master. So the people complaining about this were not immersed in the story. They thought it was disgusting. It was being released by Big Finish because Trevor Baxendale supported what's his name, Gareth Roberts. And all he said was, I don't think he's a bigot, right? And they freaked the fuck out, right? And that's why I like the Ricky Gervais Netflix special. No one's there. He was actually trying to freak them out. So yeah, this was a bit. And then Big Finish were like, oh, just shut the fuck up. But I don't know. I think the direction Doctor Who's going in, and it's open hatred of people who just want to. Like, here's the thing. When the New Adventures was going on, Big Finish found a really good niche in that they did very traditional Doctor Who, while Big Finish was doing very not Big Finish, but by the New Adventures was doing very progressive Doctor Who, right? And they were very different beasts, especially when you came to things like the early Sylvester McCoy ones. They were very clear to differentiate the two. If they were smart, they would do very traditional Doctor Who, like without all your gay shit constantly. Oh, look, it's a lesbian couple who's captain. Oh, yeah, really? They would fill that niche. but the people making it have the same woke mind virus as the people. The same people making the Doctor Who on TV. So guess not. But this was kind of fun. Why Phoebe Waller-Bridges genres? Why is Phoebe Waller-Bridges genres herald of doom? She is, isn't she? We hear when she's coming to a franchise, it's going to be bad news. Now we're on February 4th right now. And oh my God, how right was this going to turn out to be? I would say maybe career destroying genre herald of doom, right? So also February 5th, we got a very cool trailer, which again had the woke mind virus all the way through it. Joe Jones and the Lesbians of the Deep, the inside story of making the cringiest Blu-ray trailer of all time. It really was. Like if you don't remember, you had a couple of girls walking and going into a cave, and they were very clear to say they're lesbians on a date, right? I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem like to be a good fucking date if you're in the middle of a cave. And then they find a sea devil egg and Joe Grant looking after it. But like they mentioned being like, again, this fits right into modern Doctor Who, 100%. Are you gay and worried about climate change? There's been 50 quid on a TV show from 1972 that you already own. That message to sell them like hotcakes. Well, I did buy it. This is a great thumbnail. What am I thinking? This is a great thumbnail. I mean, that really is it. It's like it was so stupid, right? And it was all what's his name? What's the name? The guy who does all the trailers. I can't bloody remember. He wrote Kablam. And something a lot more shit, as I recall. What's that guy's name? I don't care. It's the answer. I don't care. But he always puts his names on these trailers. He's like whatever his name is, dickhead writer film or whatever his bloody name is. We know how everyone says LGBTQ plus. We know what the plus is there for. Yeah, it's not good news. Have you seen The Sound of Freedom? Much like that. Fine. So this has been an ongoing story for the year. People do not like James Gunn. They don't like Henry Cavill not being Superman. And granted, it was a tragedy. He never got a chance. In fact, the whole Snyderverse would have been great if they actually gave it a go. Right? It would have been really fantastic. And it's a massive wasted opportunity. And Henry Cavill is a huge talent. Right. That being said, I also think James Gunn's a huge talent. Now, he said a lot of stupid things. He says things like, "Oh, I'm so excited for Tom King to be a part of this." Like, well, then you're a schmuck. You're an idiot. You shouldn't do that, right? But that being said, everything I've seen James Gunn do, including the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which was freaking perfect, everything I've seen him do has been very good. Right, I think Peacemaker was excellent. I think Guardians of the Galaxy excellent. Right, everything I've seen him do has been good. Suicide Squad, I think it was excellent. Right, I haven't seen him do something which I thought was cack. So I'm open-minded to see what he's got planned. Far better than Doctor Who this year. I would say far better than the specials. I think this is about on the par with. Shooting stuff was Rossi Davis's Nolly, starring Helen Bonham Carter, and that's Mark Gatiss as Larry Grayson. This was I preferred to massively to the specials. Again, the Tennant specials. But this is it's not like it's a sin. It's not like saying something important. It's just good, solid, fun, well-written drama. Right, with characters you care about. Oh, God, Russell, why couldn't you have done this in Doctor Who? Right, that was February 10th. February 12th. Disney's dumb plan to save Star Wars, which was massively damaged by their last dumb plan. I mean, God, look at Baby Leia. Just look at Baby Leia. How stupid were they? Who wants to see that? Then you got Reva in the background, what the shittiest character I've ever seen on Star Wars. Angry black woman. Oh, really? Don't see that often. Who just snarls a lot, right? And then turns out to be the key to everything. She was shit, right? Just absolutely shit. So the dumb plan to save Star Wars is to do movies, do the Rey movies, I think, and then also have Chewbacca in them. Also, they're just, you know what? It's a dumb plan. Who gives a shit? We're expecting Disney to fold before that happens, and please God, may that go down. 2024. Okay, this next story is 2023 in a fucking nutcase, right? So much promise, so little delivered, right? So much promise, so little delivered. The incredibly real AI voice cloning is a massive game changer. It is. Look, for me, I think, some pretty good Doctor Who with it. Which I recommend you go check out. Right, I really think good Doctor Who with this, but like it's moving too slow. I'm sorry, right? They should be like this was back in February, right? Valentine's Day, February 14th. There should be more control over it. We should be able to, like, there should be audio drama being made with this, right? Having said that, Misshapen Planet, fucking excellent. Problem being thing. Looking forward to the second part of that. So February 14th, it's February 15th. Matthew Dacre's Doctor Who Am I? So this ended up, I'm not sure how, on for free on Amazon, I think, right? And I loved it. I absolutely loved this little movie. Right, it was it was an outsider's view of Doctor Who fandom, and it was very sweet and honest. Right, this was a great recommend. And Paul McGann's being interviewed in it. He's being brilliant. I got a lot of respect for Paul McGann, and you understand why he likes the fans. Right, and how he's like, feels close with them, and it feels like responsible. I think Paul McGann's great, right? I think this really does Paul McGann a lot of a lot of good service. So yeah, that was great. But February 16th, we realize there's never going to be any more Orville. Bye, da-na-na-na. Hey, goodbye. And you fucking morons, you had season 1 and 2. You gained so much love, and you destroyed it all with your woke fest in season 3. Fucking morons. God, I mean, like, that's why I'm worried about this TED series that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Can you just make it be not politically correct? Bleeding Gulls tries to work out how the Orville crashed and burned when it became woke garbage. It's becoming the woke garbage, right? That's was the thing, right? That became woke garbage. Anyway, it was February 17th, and we have finally seen the first episode of Star Trek Picard, the final season. Part 1, The Next Generation. Full spoiler recap and review. Holy crap, this is actually authentic Star Trek. Just forget everything from Insurrection onwards, and you'll love this. It's excellent advice. Finally, getting to see Picard and Riker and the whole next-gen crew again. It gets better and better every week. Right, it's such beautiful attention to detail. Terry Matalas, absolute king, right? Absolute king on this. That he does have the keys to Star Wars. Star Trek is an abomination. He knows what he's doing. He's the only one who's had any success since this new iteration of Star Trek. He should be given the keys to all of Star Trek, right? I'm just like. This was excellent, right? So good. So many great Star Trek moments. Even tying in Raffi and making it work. Okay. Fantastic. So then we don't know what to think about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny Super Bowl trailer. And it looks like it's been Kathleen Kennedy. Well, they tried, but there's only so much polishing this lump of shit. Right, but for a few minutes we had some hope there, and boy, there's no overestimating how shit this was. Right, there really is no overestimating how intensely shit this entire thing was. Hey, look at this, something on the poster. That's something that was cut out of the movie. Obviously, that's weird. I wonder what that was. Anyway, was it Phoebe Waller-Bridge? You are the herald of doom. Then I discovered something in February, and it genuinely enriched my life. Right, Ricky Gervais's Derek. Now, I didn't want to watch this at first because I thought it was taking the piss out of retarded people, and it's not. Right, I absolutely adored this. Right, this is a show that shows you everything. Shows you what life is about in terms of everything. I love this show, right? Absolutely, it's gorgeous, right? In fact, it ends up on a Christmas special where his friends have a pregnant or having a baby, and that was about 10, 15 years ago. I would love to see them do a follow-up movie with like Derek, with like little Derek, who was named up, who again would say is 10 now. Right, I think that would be a great pairing, right, and a good, dynamic. I would love to see it. It's beautiful, right? It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sorry it took me so long to watch it, and I really genuinely enriched my life. So it didn't enrich my life, but amused the fuck out of me. On February 24th, we had the roasting of Meghan Markle with South Park, and she did not like that. Look at me, everybody, just wanting my privacy. South Park. This is one of the high points of the year, right? South Park ripped the piss out of Meghan Markle, and it just a brutal fashion, right? They showed them to be the narcissists that they are, that they Pete Matee, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, Darren. They showed you to be the narcissists that they are. That they're like with their screen, they just want privacy while they just want everybody to be watching them. Honestly, Meghan Markle is probably the most disgusting new addition to the media landscape, and that's with the media landscape with the Kardashians in it. She makes the Kardashians look classy. Mate, so disgusting. I mean, she's really vile. So again, 2023, lots of promise. Not much delivered. So this was incredible Dalek fan animation from Philip Boyles. It is beautiful. But like, I was hoping we were going to see a lot more of this by now, right? But yeah, no. This is February 26th. I really thought we're going to see a lot more AI animated, interesting Doctor Who. Not as much as I wanted to. Maybe next year. By the time we got to the end of February 28th, we were doing. I can't remember. Did he die at the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023? Reverend Chris Boucher, a life-creating legends, exploring the life of his work. Thank you, Chris, for giving us all life and all your incredible stories. I love Chris Boucher, right? I loved his work. I loved his Doctor Who stuff. Face of Evil is probably one of my favorite stories of all time. I adore Face of Evil. I prefer it to Robots of Death, which I also think is excellent. Image Defender, I can take or leave. I love Star Cops. Blake Seven, he did. He is a cut above. Somebody who we genuinely is genuinely a great loss, right? So that was 2023. Then again, so much promise, and this one we actually know more. So little delivered, right? We had Callum West's incredible fan animated recreation of the Celestial Toymaker. Carl Russell hiring to make this for BBC for Disney Plus. No, because what was going on, the BBC were all making a far shittier version of the Celestial Toymaker, and an unwatchably bad 2010 style video CGI one. This was beautiful. Callum's one was sensitive. It was perfect. It was gorgeous. It worked so well for the Celestial Toymaker. I really want to try and get in touch with Ian Levine. Said, how much would it cost to crowdfund him to make episodes 2 and 3? Right? Because apparently the BBC, I think, put a stop to this. Right? Such a shame. Right? So much promise. Such a shame. This is the sort of thing I want to see more of. Right? This is February 28th, so things were gearing up. Oh, can't wait to see what we get the rest of it. Fuck all. Literally fuck all. So I think the hope is ending around now. No Time to Be a Spy. The sorry state of our culture when James Bond is rewritten for racial sensitivity. God, yeah. We had, who was it? Black Mirror? who wrote a James Bond novel when evil white supremacists were the who loved Donald Trump were the bad guys. Fuck Charlie Higson, I think. Fuck off. Just fuck. That's why I'm glad they're not making James Bond movies. This was March 11th, right? March 12th, things were looking good actually. Mandalorian season 1 and 2, the Apostate, and the Mines of Mandalore. Full spoiler recap and review. I enjoyed season 3 of Mandalorian. Again, it's its own universe. The idea of taking 2 episodes and putting it in the piece of shit that's Boba Fett is stupid, especially as they number each episode, right? So they skip over that vital bit where he gets his new ship. They should do that as a interlude, right? Take those 2 stories out, 2 episodes out, make it its own, Mandalorian interlude, all right? So you don't. It's not like woven into Boba Fett, which is shit. But I liked again. The Mandalorian was a woman DeLorean, which was Katie Sackhoff, but I liked it being Katie Sackhoff. Another great thing this year, in the top 10 probably, Luther the Fallen Son, starring Idris Elba and Andy Serkis, preview and trailer reaction. I like this a lot. This was good. It came out a few months later, I think, but this was actually really, really good. Very Luther, very creepy, but it sets it up for movies in the future. More of this, please, right? More of this. This was actually very good. Disney's production notes to Rossi David effectively makes him the BBC and Bad Wolf, their bitches. Disney will destroy Doctor Who. I don't think there's any resistance going on with Bad Wolf, BBC, or Rusty Davis. I'm like, yeah, let's take a piss over Doctor. I don't think they all got the same idea. As Graham Kirk says this, they all like they've done with the other franchises. You're probably right. That's what I say. That being said, I like Shooting Cutaway with Millie Gibson, right? So I'm open mind seeing what they're going to do. Something I enjoyed a lot as well was Bad Batch, right? This is one of the successes, I think, of the Star Wars universe. But again, it all turned to cack this year again. But I would like them to, if they were smart, right? You will do a Mando movie with Luke Skywalker and they meet up with Bad Batch, right? And then somehow forward from there. I think probably what to do there is do a huge cinematic event, like a big, like David Lean, huge movie called The Death and Life of Luke Skywalker, right? And do his whole life story, which I think will probably work well, and then move into whatever you want to do next. So much promise, so little delivered. The future of Red Dwarf. What's coming next from Boys from the Dwarf? Well, there's a proposal from Rob Grant and what's his name, the producer, to do a young Red Dwarf with a new cast. That sounds like shit. And no news from the original cast from Doug Naylor. No, like, this was, again, March 16th. Haven't heard a bloody thing. It's December. It's December 30th, right? No, right? So then, we still had hope in March time for Doctor Who, right? Did SFX rumor confirm that Matt Smith returns to Doctor 6 AM Doctor Who? Well, of course I'm going back. Of course you're not. I was totally wrong. Of course you're not. You're not coming back. Yes. No, this wasn't going to happen, right? We weren't going to get anything good for the anniversary whatsoever on TV. We got a few good things, but anything on TV was not it. Anyway, Doctor Who's year was about to go south, ladies and gentlemen. Going to go south. Back in March 21st, we got the first glimpse of the shape of things to come, of the shape of the shitness to come. We had Doomsday. May. Just a massive failure in every way, shape, and form. Where we are, Transmedia event. Yeah, the absolute trash. Just trash that this was. So BBC launches new Doctor Who Transmedia event with an inexplicably awful trailer. Well, no, it's explicable once you factor in the people making this, the morons, right? They're the same people who made the Star Beast, right? They're absolute morons. Suze Kempner isn't very good, right? And this whole production was very poor, right? There's nothing about this work. Firstly, Suze Kempner is shit in this character. And then you got the character, which is also shit. The universe's greatest assassin. So it's this sub Douglas Adams bullshit that nobody really cares about that went on from like hour to hour, and it was called Doomsday. It was terrible. I like, you can't oversell how bad Doomsday was. Maybe can we grab that trailer? Because it's so bad. Like you're forgetting how bad it was. Doomsday Doctor Who. See if I can find that trailer. I guess fine. What's his name? Jack Reeves taking the piss out of it, which then everybody applauded and go, "Oh no, garbage people like what I've done." Oh, moron. Here it is. Oh God, this is so cringe. Okay. No, we have to rewatch this. I'm sorry, because this is a non-survivable level of cringe. Here we go. Download. Okay, because you don't remember how bad it was, right? Let's see how bad it was.
I'm Doom.
Out you whatsoever, right? Literally nothing about. And when this failed horribly, she went on this like tirade on Twitter.
I'm the universe's greatest assassin.
No, you're not. You're a cunt on a green screen.
And in one day, I'm going to die.
Yeah, nobody cares. We're all happy about that.
Unless I can find the doctor.
No, you can't. Oh, quick, turn the camera.
Someone sent death, literal death, after me.
Again, that's so Doctor Who.
I can only outrun it for 24 hours. So, the clock's ticking.
You are a remarkably shit actress, right?
My vortex manipulator sends me a new target every hour. The Lesser Order of Oberon sends me a lot to choose from, and I'm picking the missions that'll maybe bring me to the doctor.
I love that she's so shit in this.
24 hours, all of time and space. Will I find the doctor? Ancient enemies.
I mean, honestly, I can't believe somebody got a paycheck for this. I can't believe somebody got a paycheck for saying, how about Suze Kempner playing Doom, a character nobody's ever heard of before, for a 6th anniversary transmedia event that's going to be about Doctor Who? I mean, surely they just think you put Doctor Who logo on anything, you can sell it. Fuck off.
Old friends. Or maybe I'll go out in flames. A lot of flames.
No. You went out with a complete fizzle. Nobody gave a shit. A total and complete failure.
Well, it'll be better than what's coming for me.
What, a non-entity failure? Yeah, probably.
If you see the doctor, tell them I'm on my way.
No. I mean, even the music is awful and generic, right? There's nothing about this that works. Shit. We already said, oh, that's shit, mate. That's shit. So then Doctor Who was on Red Nose Day and got shitter and lamer, right? Doctor Who Red Nose Day's reaction, an epic deep cringe for a good cause. So much cringe, so much anniversary. By March 22nd, Doctor Who Doomsday star Suze Kempner's epic meltdown over the bad reception of her terrible trailer. Look at me being totally relatable. The laser nerds. Look at my tits. Buy my special with my game controller. And this certainly isn't a shocking display of dripping disdain for a target market I want to fleece. And do you like my heaving cleavage? I'm a feminist, by the way. So full of shit. Oh, well, I love that it failed so badly, right? Doomsday debacle continues. Suze Kempner, we're up to 23rd of March. Star Suze Kempner moves from meltdown to breakdown. Doctor Who fans are weirdos. Now let me lecture you about trans rights and politics. You tell them, Suze. Well, you would told if anybody listened to you, which nobody did, because you were shit. Speaking of completely and totally failing. Right, by March 24th, things are not looking good for Disney. Race swap Little Mermaid to Peter's own representation narrative. Now, here's the thing, right? Idiot liberals don't realize what's going on with Black Little Mermaid, right? Do you think Black Little Mermaid, who do you think it's for? Black people? No, it's for white liberals. It's for the awfuls, the affluent white female liberals, for them to feel like good and virtuous about themselves. That's the entirety of it. And that's your market, the Kathleen Kennedys of the world, right? That's the market, and that's why nobody buys your bullshit, right? Still seemingly financially foolproof from political sociological bullshit. Doctor Who season 9 box set unboxing. Gorgeous. I love this range. This range can do no wrong, right? This range can do no wrong. We first started to see Disney crumble with look at me. How else is it gonna? This is who Disney is making movies for. Old the awfuls, affluent white female liberals, affluent white female. Marvel Studios, Victoria Alonso, architect of the destruction of the MCU with identity politics, fired. Yeah, she was, but then they just doubled back down again. Okay. I mean, like, Disney's doing so freaking badly right now. It's wonderful, right? I mean, they're like in their. I just hope the Nelson Peltz takes over. We got the first hint that we're doing a Sixers episode. We didn't get the first hint that she was going to have a complete. I just assumed they were going to keep, with the same kind of silhouette, same color outline, that sort of thing going. Apparently not, right? Apparently not. This would have been better. It's going to be groovy, baby. Oh, come back. Yeah, it's going to be groovy, baby. Millie Gibson always looks good. So now by March 31st, I try and start to review Avatar: The Way of Water. I only did the first 20 minutes. I think I did the first hour of this movie. And I was like, fuck, I can't. My life's too bloody short. Right? My life is too bloody short. So then Doctor Who, after kicking you in the balls with Doomsday and unimpressing you with Red Nose Day, follows it up with Jigs More Soon. Oh, fuck off. Oh, you moron, Russell. You absolute cockwomble moron. Right? Again, you need to take your wank mag worldview out of this. I'm sure Jinx is a very talented person, but like, I think this is a lost battle, right? I think, I think you saw people pushing back on Drag Queen Story Hour, and you wanted to fight back. A founder divided a deep dive into Jinx Monsoon's casting. Is drag a sexual identity, erotic performance art, sex work, or just a bit of harmless fun? And why is this conversation being stifled? Because they don't want a conversation. They want to dictate to you. Russell, this is from April 6th, we're up to now. They want to dictate to you. I'm sorry. I don't think parodies of strip clubs are appropriate for children. I don't think parodies of strippers are appropriate for children. Honestly, I don't think cross-dressing is really a thing to be exposing to children. Right? I think it's probably a kink, right? I think it's probably a kink. And I think part of the kink is exposing it to children, which would explain, the high percentage of pedophiles coming out of this stuff, right? Again, you want to have the conversation, we'll have the conversation. You don't want to have the conversation, right? But that being said, so far everything they put on screen, I found perfectly acceptable with Shooter Gatwa. And also massive game, Masturbated Fantasy. Disney Plus and Marvel Secret Invasion trailer reaction. Oh God, it can't be any more boring, right? Than it actually was. I think I got past the second episode. Just shit, right? What a waste of Samuel Jackson, who's also shit. Right? Go back to the crack, Samuel. I think that'll be a better use of your time. And talking about things going shit, Guns for Hire. This is where things really went south. Like Mandalorian would have been so much better without Lizzo and Jack Black being shit. Well, we thought this would go down better than it did. Yeah, everybody hated it. I'm sorry, Lizzo is not that an impressive person, right? Then we got news about the, I would say, quite a good 60th anniversary celebration, which was Once and Future. This was April. The first one came out in May. Generally speaking, this series worked. It was 7-8 releases. I think we're getting another one next year, where there was a frothy mix of different Doctor Who-y bits. So this we have the Fourth Doctor, a modern unit, Rufus Hound's meddling monk, Dr. Sarah Jane Smith. And again, a kind of frothy, fun adventure. The Doctor has been hit by some weapon in the Time War and keeps regenerating with his clothes, apparently, which they should have told us before third release. That that's what's going down. So generally speaking, again, this was a fun celebration of Doctor Who's 60th anniversary, right? I like this one a lot. I'll go far as call it excellent. Something else that came out of nowhere at the April 13th, right? Came out absolutely nowhere. This was a big deal, right? This was a really seismic sea change in the world. The epic Bud-like implosion transacted Dylan Mulvaney cost Anheuser-Busch $6 billion and counting. It ended up being a lot more than that. Bud Light's destroyed as a brand. The boycott stuck, right? And there's been a lot more beside. You know, that's why I think Disney Plus is fucked. Frankly, I think people have had enough. And honestly, this move to remove Trump from the ballot, it's all tied together in that you're just fucking off your. This is the same customer base, right? And they don't want to be a party to this, right? So I honestly, I don't know where we're going to be by April next year. Very soon, in 4 months. I get a feeling we're going to be in a. I hope we will move forward and things push will have come to shove and things will start to implode. This was wonderful. Elon Musk epically eviscerates BBC reporter. So the BBC reporter just says the go-to lie that Twitter, since Elon Musk took over, has become a hotbed for racists. He says, really, why do you think that? He said, well, yeah, I see it on my timeline. It basically Elon Musk just hands him his ass, right? And it basically shows that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's making stuff up and just following along with a narrative. I think Elon Musk owning Twitter is a very good thing, right? It's the only free major platform out there. I like Rumble as well, right? But Twitter is much bigger. Lord of the Rings flops. Amazon's excruciating Lord of the Rings Rings of Power finds all new ways to fail. How could brilliance like this fail? It was. I don't know. I was on a stream, I think, on Dan's channel, and he had somebody say, "Oh, we have real quality like Amazon Lord of the Rings." I ripped that guy a new arsehole. There was nothing watchable about Lord of the fucking Rings. It was shit McShit, mate. It was everything about it was awful, right? There was no point where I said it wasn't ever clear that would I rather watch Rings of Power or get my arsehole fingered, and I don't like my arsehole being fingered. It's not a clear choice, right? Because Rings of Power was really that bad, right? And we again a car crash waiting to happen. Like who didn't know this was gonna this is back April 16th, right? We could have told you all them. Disney Plus and Marvel's epic failure in waiting. The Marvel's trailer reaction. Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah. What else did I say? I just hope there's some real genuine repercussions for this. A good point of last year, April 16th, we had the Demon Song, which I really liked a lot, right? It was this is Stephen Noonan, the first Doctor, Lauren Cleanis as Dodo, lovely Doctor companion combination. I like this range, right? I like his take on the first Doctor. It's very, very, very well observed. Stephen, this is definitely one of the high spots of Big Finish, right? For me, anyway. Right, we kept seeing monsters in Doctor Who that look worse and worse. Like Jinx Monsoon look like grot bags, right? Trying to decipher Russell Davies' bonkers weird new era of Doctor Who. Striker Picard, full in-depth review, Godzilla and Kong, we love them both. Picard quite rightly says, well, looks like I won best of the show. We're Doctor Who's newest and worstest villains ever. That's what it kind of seems like. Like grot bags seems to look like it will fit right into Doctor Who. At some point, we've got to wonder if he's taking the piss. No, he's just making his own masturbatory fantasy, right? Which, fair play to him. Trying and fail to put together the new era. Okay, I'm putting it together for you, right? Now in the future, I can tell you, right? About in the dim mist of the future, we found out that Judy Gatwa is very authentically Doctor Who and also a gay masturbatory icon, right? And this just carried on to confuse it. What's wrong with drag anyway? Why the pushback against Doctor Who casting and Jinx Monsoon? Grooming is what it is, right? But you say that's enormous, they don't really understand. But, I think grooming is a normalization of cross-dressing, right? Now, I don't want to demonize somebody who cross-dresses, but I also don't want to normalize it either, right? Two things can be true at once and neither of them bigoted. But like, Russell, this is the conversation you had. Again, May 1st, fitting right into 2023. So much promise, so little delivery. Citadel starring Richard Madden, Stanley Tucci, Priyanka Chopra Jones. Great for the first episode, kind of lost it after that. I really like the first episode. They did, just went nowhere, right? Absolutely nowhere. Oh, so there we go. Fuck, I forgot about this. On May 1st, we got all these different. We started getting these like 10-second trailers for Doctor Who, 5-second ones, and like, why fucking bother? Leave us alone. And all the binary. Oh god, yeah, fine. So yeah, use binary to tell you, give you clues. Murray Gold comes back to Doctor Who on May 2nd, right? We're the gold standard, baby. And again, I think he did very well. We started to get like some very strong indications. Things are going to be quite different this time around by May 3rd. Rusty Davis camp revamp. This pink news description of the era chillingly accurate. Yes, it is. Right? Yes, look at this fantastic piece of pre-AI artwork. Hi campers, welcome to the new era campers. You do as we say. Again, fitting into the theme of 2023. So much promise, so little delivery. This beautiful Star Trek short. The awesome Roddenberry archive recreating classic Star Trek in breathtaking ways. Yeah, it was Spock finding Kirk's body, essentially. Fantastic. More of this, please. A lot more of this, right? Then we have the coronation. I forgot about that. Right, roll, knees up. Fanfries. That make too much sense. Lucasfilm takes the piss. Takes another piss on Star Wars. I swear it's just in it for the money. Well, yeah, I can understand that. Congratulations, Mansley. Time for another point. Oh, just a quick call for the missus will do a nut. Us British institutions need to stick together. I've been fascinated by watching the rehabilitation of what's her name, Camilla Parker Bowles, or Pillar Queen, whoever she is, right? She was when I left England in the 90s. She was hated beyond hated, right? So that's the impression I have sticking with me. There was a documentary on Boxing Day saying that she was a really good, gosh darn good egg. Okay, I know what to tell you. But it's interesting how media shapes public perception, right? Is Donna Noble going to die? No, we're all just going to die of embarrassment and cringe. They're saying you're going to get killed on special. What? Behave? That's just Ross Lee. They're building a hype. That's exactly what it is. King Charles III coronation commentary. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped acid this morning. That was May 7th. That's a great thumbnail. That is a great thumbnail. I like that a lot. So he gets his shooting in his blue costume. We've seen him for a while now. Fifth Beatle. Yeah, we got there's going to be a shooting a Beatles episode, right? So okay, Fine. Where are we up to? Citadel and Cider review. We're talking about Cider in a minute. Shooty gets his Shakespeare on the new Doctor Who wows audience at Coronation concert. I thought he was shit. I don't know why they wowed him. I thought he was shit. Honestly, the best work I've seen him do is Doctor Who. Right? Everything else I've seen is has been shit. Okay, one of the standouts of the year, right? One of the major standouts of the year that came from nowhere and turned out to be stunning. Silo. Fucking awesome. So worth a subscription to Apple Plus. Fucking awesome. I like Rebecca Ferguson a lot. She's very good. Tim, what's his name? Tim, not Conti. Oh, what's the bloody hell's name? Tim Robbins is excellent. And you got, he's a rap guy playing the main villain. Fan-fucking-tastic. Awesome world building. Great characters. Great character drama. Each episode has a beginning, middle, and end. It's very strongly written, right? And it rounds everything up. It's fucking awesome. This is perhaps the best TV show of the year. I have to think about that. I think it's probably one of the best TV shows of the year. Certainly the best new TV show. Is there anything that came out? There's like just going back through the years. Certainly not Velma, not First of Us. Yeah, no. I mean, it's this and Picard. So this is the best original show of the year. Right now, yeah, it's between this and Picard. Fine. Nothing has come close to touching this. Right? If you haven't seen it, it's like you've really got to. It's really, really, really good. Trump's back, baby. The Donald epically returns better than ever. Ethically crushing CNN. Yeah, look, that's why he's being removed from ballots. Because he will win. I think he's going to win anyway. I think he's going to win it. And if he's not, then I don't think you're going to have an America. This is your choice. You either have an America with Donald Trump as the president, or you don't have America. Right? That is your choice now. So, yeah, look, but we got some very nefarious plans laid for the Trumpster. All these bogus charges. It's just ridiculous. Right? It's so sad to watch America be crushed under the heel of the intelligence agencies, very clearly and obviously. And they're so arrogant, they think that nobody realizes or works it out, right? I think Trump's going to be the comeback kid, baby. We'll find out a year from now. I don't wonder where things will be. One of the best surprises of the year, and I would say also one of the highlights of the year, Babylon 5 returns. New details on the forthcoming animated movie, and they're awesome. This was awesome. This was May 19th. This was one of the high spots of the year, right? Absolutely one of the high spots of the year. Absolutely adored this, right? Absolutely adored this. Great animation, great story. It was just great, right? If you like Babylon 5, this was great. And then they just put out all Babylon 5 on Blu-ray, so that sounds good. But the theme of 2023, so much promise, so little delivery. Tom Cruise Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 looked awesome. Looked awesome. About a half hour too long minimally, and didn't have an end, right? Looked absolutely awesome. So then, again, it really is. It's crushing. It's crushing how much this failed. So much so they're calling Part 2 something totally different. They're rebranding it as its own movie. We got word on May 23rd that they're rebooting the Eighth Doctor's range. Neither are fucking bothered. Quite frankly, Audacity, written by a insane feminist self-insert, awful character, Mary Sue, Audacity, played by Jay Griffiths, created by Elisa McMarlin. Shit beyond. Every line is cringe. It is, and you. Paul McGann's sparkling. He's fantastic. Every line that comes out of this character is super cringe. Another so much promise, so little delivery. Star Trek Stage 2 season 2. Will the current continue? Will the Star Trek continue its current run of being awesome? No. Sadly, season 2 was cack. Absolute cack, and you should avoid it like the plague. 27th, we came. More very. Clear news. They're stunning, they're brave, and they're women. We're dicks. Nothing can go wrong with this, right, Dylan? Well, I think Starbeast strangles Shooty at birth. I really do. I think Starbeast absolutely strangles Shooty at birth. And you're a bit of a schmuck, Russell. The Prejudice of Pride is a hate-filled female erasure masquerading as social justice. And has the normal public had enough? Yes. Right? Somebody who who never got enough, could always take a little bit more. One of the great stories of the 2023, 29th of May. We have Philip Schofield, what a very naughty boy. How was your weekend? What's that, Gordon? You spent all of last week up Richard Greer's arse in a condom? Yeah. Apparently, bit of an uphill gardener. Yeah. Still worth a laugh, isn't it? Ended his career. Then we got BBC's new Orwellian Verify service, disinformation that wants to tell you what truth is. I know. I look, they've been quite good with Israel, where they said, "Oh yeah, we were lying about the Israelis bombing hospitals." Apparently, that was Hamas. Rossi Davis chooses exact worst moment ever to go all in on divisive gender theory. Actually, the worst moment possible was if they were airing the specials then. Right? If they aired them during May, they would have done a lot worse. There was much more in the news then. Right? So that was May 3rd. Into June. Bonnie Langford's back! Okay, so this I think was actually one of the good points of Return of Doctor Who. I liked her in the Giggle, right? I like seeing her again. I think she's a good presence. I think she'll bounce nicely off Shooty. So I think it was good news. But I feel about live reaction to the return on Melanie Bush to Doctor Who. It's fun. So then we wrapped up Barry on where are we up to? 20th of June. We wrapped up Barry. Great series. Bill Hader is a massive, massive, massive talent. I look forward to whatever he's doing next. Barry's the story of a lost and confused, incredibly talented hitman assassin, low rent one, who ends up he stalks somebody in to murder in Hollywood, and he takes an acting class, and he gets sucked into the Hollywood acting scene, and actually does quite well, right? And it's really just a huge indictment piss take of Hollywood society, and it's excellent, right? But very funny, very well well observed. Hope gets dashed on the rock for Star Trek at on the 20th of June. We're back, and I've forgotten everything that made season 1 good. Yes, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, season 1, season 2, episode 1, The Broken Circle, review, Engage Mayor Drive. So the problem with this one, I mean, other than most of the series ended up with cackling women in 10 forward. I hate the cackling women in 10 forward scenes, right? It was just way too overbalanced to females. Spock is now autistic. He's basically played like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. It's shite. And so it is absolute shite. Where are we up to? So so the first episode they did cinematic Star Trek as opposed to TV Star Trek, and it failed. But basically, it was just like a bunch of cackling women. Enough already. But what was spanking Star Trek's ass, as it always did, and it probably always will do. Babylon 5, the road home trailer reaction. I was right to be excited because it was awesome, right? Absolutely, absolutely awesome. Yeah, look, more of this, please. I really enjoyed that. Succession wrapped up with they killed off the main character halfway through the season, and you got to see this very dysfunctional family. I enjoyed Succession, all of it. It was one of the classy productions. I think it was also by Bad Wolf, wasn't it? Jane Tranter, maybe. It was just a classy production that I enjoyed. That showed you how money, look, having unlimited power and money is not necessarily the best thing for you. It doesn't lead you to a happy life. And then we rounded out June with the mainstream discussing slanders, Israel-loving proud Jew Roseanne Barr as a Holocaust-denying anti-Semite. Yeah, because she said she compared the 2020 election. She said, yeah, of course, Joe Biden got more votes than people in those states. Absolutely. And also there was no Holocaust, right? She was comparing the two things to one another, and they just slammed her as an anti-Semite. Yeah. This is a review of 2023, all right? Because nothing says 2023. I think this is perhaps the most 2023 cinematic event, right? Was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It was. Oh, God. Yeah. Disney is obsessed with making things for middle-aged women. All right. I do like how we got Phoebe Waller-Bridge's face as everybody in this, because that's exactly what this bullshit is. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, full spoiler. No, the Phoebe Waller-Bridge and the MAGA men of racism, right? The people working for the CIA are all MAGA fascists, just waiting for Donald Trump to come by, right? They're like, and it basically, they were Trump voters. Oh God, it was awful. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was an incredibly unlikable character. And then she slipped into the action hero in the last reel, and she remained incredibly unlikable. Doomcock was almost certainly right that the ending massively changed. I believe Phoebe Waller-Bridge was going to step into the hole in history left by a young Indiana Jones. But yeah, this is 2023, right? This is what the cinema was like in 2023. And it's like we all saw it coming. It's like the Marvels. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. And we're like, I'd hope, when they did the teaser trailer during the Super Bowl, that like it seems to Kathleen Kennedy. No, right? It was just garbage, right? It is just absolute garbage. It died a death, and it was an embarrassing failure for Disney, which again, one of the high spots of 2023 was all the embarrassing failures for Disney. Then 2023 took in a more interesting turn, right? By July 10th, we had the crazy that dude isn't real woman who's now like becoming somewhat famous, right? So she's reasonably hot. That's the one thing. What's her name? Tiffany Gomez. Let's see if I can find some new pictures of her. Because she is what can I say? Even though she's having an emotional meltdown there, she is undeniably hot. See if I can find pictures of her, images. So this is a picture she released to like rehabilitate herself. And 1 second, doink. And I think if she wasn't super hot, this would have gone a lot worse for her, quite frankly. But being super hot, it's not a fair thing. Well, but it is relatively, if you're hot, you do get privilege. Yeah, this is 1 second. Let me zoom in. Where am I at? I'm on the wrong thing here. There you go. I got to change it. I got to go over here then. Doink. Share screen. There you go. So this is her trying to rehabilitate an image. Again, thank God, Tiffany, you're very hot. So if you don't know the story, there's like this happened 2 or 3 times around the same time. There are people that saying there are people on their planes that weren't human, that were lizard people, and she freaked out and demanded to get off the plane. She was probably on drugs, right? She was probably on like heavy, serious drugs. Good for her. Hope you enjoyed them, darling. One of the high spots in Doctor Who merchandising come out this year was on the 13th of July. I did a review of Vault magazine issue 5. I've just got issue 6. It's winging its way over to me. Vault is just stunning, right? It's an absolutely stunning. I don't want to call it fanzine, like about Doctor Who comics. I have all of them. It's just wonderful, right? It's just wonderful. And apparently this new one really puts Doctor Who magazine to shame. And again, but I find the official just about everything isn't very good, right? So an official time that was quite good, surprisingly enough, was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So tonally, I found it a bit too heavy, a bit too dour, right? I like the whole like vivisection on Rocket's storyline was horrible. The villain was fantastic. It was the same guy from Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, from Peacemaker, right? I really like that actor. More he's in, the better. I think he's fantastic, right? But yeah, this is James Gunn's last ride at Disney. I hate how they've made Karen Gillan look like a little boy, right? And they desexualize everybody. I do like the Cosmo, the space dog. I think that's pretty good. But generally speaking, I like everything that James Gunn has done. So I'm not bothered with him in any way, shape, or form taking over the DC universe. I'm genuinely not. All right, he says a lot of stupid things. I want to start seeing things, or start seeing what it actually does. So, a movie I was really looking forward to this year did not work out well for me. Right, did not work out well for anybody. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. What a massive disappointment this was. Right, I think making it into 2 movies was a mistake. Right, I think it was bloated. It was overlong. Got boring. Right, I think it would have been better with. I don't know what they're going to do with the second part. They said they're retooling it and not making it part 2. So are they going to like re-edit everything from both part 1 and part 2 into one movie? Could be. That'd be kind of a ballsy thing to do. Right, this is what they really should have done, right? They should put out the movie as a 2.5 hour theatrical event, and then made it a 6-hour mini-series on a streaming service, right? A prestige streaming series of like the director's cut. I think that really would have worked very well. But it's still very new, working with streaming. But yeah, look, killing off Rebecca Ferguson was a mistake. What's the name? Agent Carter is an okay replacement, but not that great, right? Frankly. Just bloated and too long. It was a real disappointment. The real disappointment was, I think this was supposed to be Tom Cruise's last big action movie where he gives up, because he's looking visibly older in this one. Right, and this is where he's supposed to sign out. And I really wanted to go out on a high because, man, has this guy delivered top-notch entertainment to me my entire life, and he really has. Right, so I really wanted to go out on a high. I hope they can pull things around with the second one. Right, I really do. I don't know what they're going to do, but I really hope they can. I do know that the last hope for Star Wars is over. Jon Favreau is out. So the rumor was that bit in The Mandalorian where you got like this big Mando at the end, one with that giant gun. Now, he was an avatar for Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau did the voice of that Mando, and he gets killed off by the Praetorian Guard. The only good thing from the sequel trilogy, frankly, right? Those red, those red General Snoke or Admiral Snoke protecting people. Jedi like Knights of Ren, whatever they were. They were actually very good, but towards the end of Mandalorian season 3, he's killed off by it, which metaphorically is him leaving Star Wars. Literally, he was their last hope, right? He was their last and only hope. Help me, Jon Favreau. You're our only hope. You are Star Wars' only hope. It's gonna be shit, baby. It's gonna be shit without him. What do they have coming up this year in Star Wars? Let's have a look. There we go. Star Wars 2024. Star Wars 2024. What to expect from Star Wars in 2020? Well, we know what to expect, right? We've got Skeleton Crew. That's this is a live action show starring Jude Law. that we don't know anything about it, right? It's very little information about the mysterious series. It's about a tiny amount of footage shown at Celebration focused on their new age and children needing someone to point them in the right way. The False Warden character played by Law likely will fill that role. Created by Spider-Man Homecoming, John Watts, and Christopher Ford, and featuring such directors as the Daniels from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Whatever. So you got that. Bad Batch Season 3, that'll probably be good. Acolyte. That sounds like it's going to be awful. That's the Leslie Headland thing. I think Leslie Headland is a talented writer, right? Outlaws Export Games. No, I'm not looking interested in games. Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Thank God we don't have any more series coming out. No more. Oh God, they're all so dull. Was Andor this year? I can't remember, right? Star Wars Andor. What year did that come out? Star Wars Andor. And it looked like they were going to do a second series, didn't they? So what year did it come out? 2022. They're filming season 2 now. Man, that was a boring ass show. It got better towards the end, right? It came together towards the end, but generally speaking, that was just a boring ass show. Star Wars. And again, I was saying the other day, like, they took a product like TV that, people thought they couldn't live without in any way, shape, or form, and they made people run screaming from it, right? Star Wars is up his own ass. Talk to us about the joy along with Marvel. So we had the first glimpse of the big summer movies, Barbieheimer. So Oppenheimer I saw recently. It was very good, far better than I thought it would be. I like Chris Nolan always does stuff with playing around with time, how time tells stories, right? And this is a non-linear story of Oppenheimer being fucked over by a politician scum, essentially, right? And the same thing back then in the 50s as today. Unbelievable. Look, man. Firstly, disband the FBI, right? They are the worst of the worst. Secondly, I would like to see 2 TV shows. One called J. Edgar Hoover, highlighting what a piece of shit he was, right? And I would like to nationally disgrace J. Edgar Hoover, right? Because he was a piece of shit. And another show called FBI, showing you what pieces of shit the FBI are, right? As was demonstrated in this movie. It's a good movie, right? It's a non-linear account how somebody who saved the world was fucked over by a piece of shit politician. Right, over 3 hours, right? But I thought really excellent character studies. Great, everything about it was good. I was generally speaking very impressed, and I like Cillian Murphy. So the other big thing coming out is 1983 season 20. This was primo, excellent Doctor Who, right? I don't think I finished reviewing it. I got off the the King's Demons, right? But I've really got to finish reviewing it. It's just excellent set, right? I absolutely adore this set. I'm glad I reevaluated season 20, which is a surprisingly hard science fiction season. Look, hats off to them on this one. Yeah, they did very well. It's a summer of love with lots and lots of very bizarre LGBTQIA marches. So this was from July 18th. Is it kind of cruel for society to teach children that sex and gender are fluid? I think it's cruel because it's not, right? And the rationale of the trans world and the rationale of the child abusing world are very, very similar. Like NAMBLA and trans rights are very similar. Like, separate from the family. Family's wrong. Let children decide. All the things that child molesters would like to see happen. Right? Coincidentally or not, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's not kind. This is going to destroy a generation. The movie they said destroyed the superhero movies. I'm not sure they're right. Maybe it's true. Was The Flash. I thought, okay, so here's the problem with it. What's the name? Ezra Miller is very off-putting as the Flash because he's a weirdo pervert creepzo. But the movie itself was, I mean, other than having shit special effects, was a pretty solid sci-fi superhero movie. I think Michael Keaton's Batman was great. The Supergirl was excellent. I mean, she was hot. It's very important that she was hot. It wasn't like I've seen a lot worse superhero movies. This was fine, right? This was fine. I wouldn't mind watching this again. There's no way I'm watching Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny again. Are you out your mind? But then, you put it next to back to an actual good movie. So this was on the 21st of July. So also this, I saw Sound of Freedom. Best movie of the year, by far. Right? Genuinely, the best movie of the year, by far. If you haven't seen it, it's a strong recommend. It's on video now. Yes, it deals with child abuse, right? It deals with lots and lots of child abuse, but it's not like maudlin. Weirdly enough, it's a very powerful drama. I very strongly recommend it. Right, very strongly recommend it. So the 23rd, what do you have going on the 23rd of July? This was crazy. The bonkers elite hatred of Donald Trump for opposing child sex trafficking. Trump Derangement Center 23 is just weird. Yeah, so Trump did a screening of Sound of Freedom, right? And I remember this guy on Facebook on the Type 40 Facebook group was like just unhinged, saying it was all part of a right-wing, what's it called again? Saying Anon? I say QAnon conspiracy. I'm like, you think child sex trafficking is a conspiracy? Joe Biden and Bill Clinton both went to Pedophile Island often. Being a child sex slave is a small price to pay for not having a Trump presidency, and we all know how the little sluts love it. It really was weird. It really genuinely was just weird, right? Why? Why would you be opposed, right? So on the 24th, we were reminded that the actor strike is going on, and we were reminded we couldn't give a shit about actors, right? We could not give a shit about these pieces of shit actors who make way too much money and talk down to us way too often. A tiny reminder of why actors and writers do not deserve our support in their strike. We spent the last 7 years talking down to you about being wrong about everything whilst making unwatchable garbage. Now you owe us support. And they did think we owed them the support. Fuck off. Look, honestly, they never made another TV show or movie again. I wouldn't give a shit. Right? I have enough old shit I can watch and I'll be very happy. Right? I nobody gives a shit about the WGA. I liked it in the Team America. They were called the Film Actors Guild. They're called FAG. Right? And there was another one. This went on, and they're like, notice me, and nobody gave a shit, right? Nobody gave a shit at all. And then, speaking of things nobody gives a shit about, we get a teaser trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 5. Why? 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 Just why? That's why I said on the thumbnail. Just why? Star Trek Discovery Season 5 preview trailer reaction. Just why? I don't know. It's awful. It's perhaps one of the worst TV shows ever made. It is shockingly terrible with a completely insane main character who's totally unlikable, who thinks they're the best person ever. It's just awful. Oh, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And why do you keep making this? I think just to make a fucking point. The point is, it doesn't matter how much the shit we do fails. What is starting to matter about the shit they do that fails is Disney. Did he look forward to losing more hundreds of millions with their insane new take on Snow White? Right. So they backtrack from this quite massively, wonderfully, I would say. They released the most traditional looking Snow White picture. But the wonderful thing is the Daily Wire is making their own Snow White because Rachel Zegler, the star here, who was like just an idiot. Just an idiot girl who knows nothing, has way too much privilege, is just burning down their property. It's unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't understand how these people who run these studios, these corporations, are this fucking stupid, right? And they are. I mean, like, you have a complete failure rate, right? I look, for $10 million, I could have saved you $500 million, frankly. Oh, we're so going to epically fuck this up. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Meanwhile, the writer's strike was still going on. Nobody cares. The agonizingly sorry Will Wheaton and why no one cares about his or any of the actors or writers' plight in the current Hollywood strike. Support us. We're whiny arseholes who can't get a real job. Hey, remember how I and the rest of Hollywood spent the last 7 years looking down our noses and lecturing you? Well, now we need your help. Fuck off. I hope they bend you over and spank you hard, right? I hope that's what goes down. Someone who's bent over and spanked hard was Kevin Spacey. Apparently, not the harbinger of evil. Why can't we just go back to like the legal system of deciding if somebody is a good or a bad person, right? Rather than saying if they're accused with no real basis, right? They're accused of something, and it goes, oh yeah, of course, right? Of course. This is from my birthday, August 3rd. So Kevin Spacey, life was destroyed, right? Life was destroyed by gossip. Kevin Spacey found not guilty on his many sexual assault charges and Hollywood fumes. Screw you, suckers. It'll be fantastic. Oh, who's calling? Oh, it's a good lady wife. Let's see what she wants. Hello, my darling. How are you? I am on a show. That is correct. Okay. Okay. Who are you calling? You're not on my show. Nobody can hear you, darling. Okay. There you go. No problem. Fine. Okay. I'm going to go, darling. I'm going back to my show. Bye. Okay. Anyway, where was I? New Year's Eve. So, again, stop believing character assassinations, right? It's one of the most primal laws in Jewish culture, which we don't observe. And if we did, our lives would be much better for it. Believe what you see and hear and nothing else. So then, August 3rd, as a special birthday present, Doomsday started to come out, right? And it was an absolute and complete failure. More relentless embarrassment for the BBC from the slow motion car crash that is Doctor Who Doomsday. Everything about the headline is 100% accurate, right? Everything about the headline is 100% accurate. That it is a slow motion car crash. It is an absolute disaster. It didn't make its money back. It is shit beyond shit. I bet the terrorists and the transphobes are running scared now. Nobody even remembers you, Suze, darling. You're an invisible dot on an invisible dot. Thumbsday, said P.D. Richards. Bloody right? August 3rd was my birthday, and of course we had a birthday show. Before the wonders of AI, I managed quite fine. Happy birthday, Rabbi. This year we got you access to the TARDIS cloning machine. Well, thank you very much, Nicola. That is very very nice of you. Oh, like I say, very, very nice of you. 52 and still horny. Donna Noble must die. No, she mustn't. So Next Generation, garbage tier Star Trek. That's exactly what it was. Strange New Worlds. Disney whistleblower spills the beans. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman lives, but it didn't. So okay. Vivek Ramaswamy, he is the big new name of 2023, right? He is fan-freaking-tastic. So this was from August 4th. Everything he says I agree with, right? Again, my neighbor, right? My neighbor who's very traditional, old-school Republican, right? He hates Vivek Ramaswamy, right? So I keep asking him specifically about what he says. What does he say you don't like? And he never is able to show me. He's like, well, it said here, he said this about Israel. I'm like, well, why don't we listen to it in context? Right? It's always a disingenuous twisting of the words, right? Just believe. You don't need anybody else to think for you. You can all just think for yourself, right? Don't believe any of this bullshit. Just go and look at things for yourself, and it makes you a smarter person. If Trump gets knocked out by Banana Republic political prosecution, Vivek Ramaswamy will take his support and win the presidency. I don't think that will happen now, right? I think if Trump isn't allowed to run, then it's the end of America, right? I think that's civil war time, right? I think the country will break up. I think that would, and I think the left will do anything to stop them breaking up because all they care about is bloody power. Right, literally the only thing they care about is power. Not right, not wrong, not nothing. They just care about power. Well, Vivek Ramaswamy, one of the great new faces of 2023, right? Hopefully a lot more of him. Something else a bit good in 2023 is Second Doctor Adventures. This is a volume 2. So this is the third volume of this post Beyond the War Games stuff, right? So it's... you had a third Doctor's adventure where you had an older Jamie and a second Doctor turned up, played by Michael Troughton. You had the first one where, so that was like in the middle of the continuity. The beginning of the continuity was the first box set called Beyond the War Games. Excellent. And this is the second one, and it references, and they're working as agents for this like clandestine Gallifreyan group. And they meet. So the first episode, he meets an older Jamie, and then they reference the third Doctor story they were in the middle of this. Excellent, right? I mean, this is really one of the best Rangers at Big Finish. We saw the Napoleon starring Ridley Scott trailer reaction. Looks pretty good. I'm waiting for it to come on Apple Plus. I'm not going to cinema to see that. And that's like, yeah, I will watch this on Apple Plus. Let's whip it out, baby. Let's whip it out. Again, looking forward to that. Disley and the quarterly earning call of doom. Yes, August 14th was not a good time for B. Bob Iger. I'm excited to report we've achieved high levels of negative revenue and inverse growth. Yeah, they're getting sued, baby. They are getting sued by their investors. I mean, like, really, I've never seen somebody take a piss on their was it fiduciary duties, right? I mean, they chase politics instead of chasing the dollar. Real dumb of them. Real dumb. I don't know. Do you remember the beginning culture where people was like, well, of course they're not going to do anything that will hurt the bottom line. They're a corporation. They just care about profit. No, they cared about ideology more than anything else, right? In the middle of August, we had a weird story. Fires in Maui. Remember that? Devastating fire. Wasn't everything fires in Maui a result of a Chinese satellite laser weapon or just the wrath of God? All I know is that rich people benefited from a lot. They got like a lot of very good real estate at a cheap price. Well, at the cheap price of just barbecuing a bunch of little people. Shocking, like a shocking story. They were like the police blocking people escaping from this fire. So many deaths so needlessly. Yeah, look, this is 2023 just being fucked up in ways that you wouldn't really believe. Now, in a way that I saw coming a long way, right? And it was no, it will never get that bad. It will never, ever get that bad. On August 27th, it got that bad. Donald Trump becomes the face of defiance. Yes, that's his mugshot. Stupidest thing they could have possibly done, right? Donald Trump becomes the face of defiance against out-of-control authoritarianism. And also we talk about Star Wars Ahsoka Karen's in space. Oh God, they were so Karen and so space. So I thought there was a good prisoner analogy there. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbers. By hook or by crook, you will. So yeah, we do a bit of a deep dive review in Circa. Fuck me, this was shit. Fuck me, this was shit. This was embarrassingly shit. This was all-time shit. It just got, and you know, it was a sequel to a TV to understand what's going on. You had to watch all of Clone Wars, all of Rebels, which I didn't do, and a bunch of other stuff, and like Boba Fett, and just so. Apparently, at the end of Rebels, there's a big fight with what's it called again? The blue guy, Admiral Thrawn. And the main guy, one of their Jedi gets killed, and the main guy, Ezra, gets sucked into a different part of space with him, and they all get sent their different ways, essentially. So this is a sequel to that. Somebody pointed out the first 20 minutes should have been a live-action recreation of that for people who didn't bother watching it, like me, right? But this was all about Karens in space being stunning and brave and stunning. Oh, look, we don't care about the law. I'm a Mandalorian and a Jedi, but I'm shit at both. I mean, it just, oh, fuck. So, yeah, she's saying, so we're a couple of bland lesbians, right? And Ahsoka says, in space. Fucking awful, right? Fucking awful. 28th of August. 28th of August also, we got this. Rusty Davis promotion for the new era of Doctor Who just keeps falling flat. Well, we see why now. Now we've seen the new era of Doctor Who. The more he promotes the anniversary specials, the more shit it seemed. Yeah, look, Russell, men dressing as slutty strippers may be normal in your neck of the wood, right? It's not normal for normal people, right? And you used to be able to understand. Nobody minds you having these kinks, right? Nobody minds you, meeting a drag queen and being fucked in the arse in a club after not talking. I think that's what you want to do. I do mind you using Doctor Who to say, hey, kids, you should try getting fucked in the arse by a drag queen. It's perfectly healthy, after 4 minutes of conversation. Yeah, no, I don't want you, right? I do not want you doing that. And I think it's quite reasonable, me not wanting you doing that, right? I really do. I was like, oh, did my son just get promoted? Look at that. I think my son just got promoted. Hang on 1 second. We'll just cut in, right? He's actually got a few days off, so quite happy. There you go. Captain Lebetkin. There you go. Yeah, he just got 3 stripes. So good for him. There, yeah. We stopped this review of 2023 for the important stuff. He looks just like me. He's a handsome boy. What can I tell you? Handsome boy. Man, one of his friends just got killed recently. Not in the war, in a car accident, right? And so I see the guy's father around, and he just looks a lot like the kid, like the same way that my son looks like me, right? It's just. Feel so bad for him. I just feel bad for him. I can't even imagine what that's like. I don't really want to, frankly. Anyway, like being fucked in the ass by a drag queen in a club. It's not up for me. It's not up to I think it's better that you don't promote that. Being married and being marriage and fidelity. Those are good things to promote. Rebel Moon. So yeah, the trailer first came out. I was excited by it. I liked it. People giving it shit beyond shit relentlessly, right? They are just giving it so much shit. I don't see why. It seems perfectly fine to me, right? And I'm looking forward to seeing the director's cut, right? It just seems perfectly fine. But I don't get it. I don't get the hate for this movie, right? I have nothing against it whatsoever. Is shooting up we're going to be a non-binary Doctor Who? Probably. Very probably. how it fits perfectly into the bonkers world 20. Well, it does, doesn't it? And I do want to point out the new console room hadn't been shown yet. This was the mock-up made by those fans who nailed it completely. I mean, I do not like that new console room. I think it's generally speaking a bit shit, right? Now, come on, you had to see this one coming. It's certainly coming. I mean, if not in season 14, season 15. Bill Maher and the media lose their minds like never before over the inevitability that Trump 2024. There's no way you can stop him. Right? The only way you can stop him is cheat, right? And you're losing your mind because of it, right? You know, I try and talk to liberals about this, and it does their head in completely. We're completely rational and certainly not in deep denial. You're on deep denial, mate. You're all losing your shit. No, it can't possibly. Again, world peace and the best economy of our lives. Plus, you've been caught lying about every fucking thing. Everything you said about him was a lie. This was where we're up to September the 8th, right? September the 9th. Godzilla -1 trailer reactor looked fucking awesome. I want to see this movie. Monsterverse done right. This looks absolutely awesome, right? Can't wait to see this movie. If you want to see Kaiju Titans and be bored out your mind and go to sleep, then go to Apple TV Plus's new Godzilla show, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I haven't been able to get myself to watch it since episode 5. It's too fucking dull. Right? It is just too unbelievably dull. Maybe I'll try and push through it, right? And I actually got a subscription to Apple TV specifically for that. There's a new Peter Capaldi show coming on Apple TV. Hang on 1 second. Let's have a look. When's that coming out? Peter Capaldi, Apple TV. When is that? The Criminal Record. When's that coming out? January 10th, right? January 10th. An anonymous phone call draws two brilliant detectives into a confrontation over an old murder case. One is a young woman in the early stage of her career, and the other is a well-connected, determined to protect his legacy. Look, if you're going to have Capaldi playing a bad guy, I think I'm up for that, right? I think I'm up for that. So what are we up to? Yeah, this was a real disappointment, right? September 16th, something that was not a disappointment, right? And it's been about 20 years since they put the first part out. The Adventure of Luther Arkwright Volume 2, The Heart of the Empire, starring David Tennant review. So this was really good. I really recommend getting Luther Arkwright. It's the original one is like $3 on Big Finish. It stars David Tennant. Weird casting. This was David Tennant before he was famous as Luther Arkwright, who's a trans-dimensional, science hero, essentially. Created by Brian Talbot, made a very rich multiverse. So it's interesting. So Brian Talbot went to Luther Arkwright 3 times in his career, at the beginning, middle, and end. So about 15, 20 years later, after he did the first one, he did the second one, Heart of the Empire, and Luther Arkwright really wasn't in it until the end, which they got around quite well because they have like this supercomputer called Wotan, who they had David Tennant do the voice of as well. And also transdimensional, not transgender, just transdimensional, much more believable than transgender. So they managed to keep David Tennant's presence throughout this. This really worked, right? This was actually, I would say, a successful Big Finish this year. I'm glad it came out, right? I think it did pretty well. September 17th, where are we up to? The Doctor Who magazine poll scrapes the bottom of the barrel for the epic fail that was a Jodie Whittaker era. I keep thought fans are ranking my performance in Doctor Who magazine. This is always bad news for Jodie. What about Phasmin? Everybody loved it. Everybody hated it. It was shit. Apart from people who didn't watch Doctor Who, said, "Oh, it's so empowering, so inclusive, so beautiful, so wonderful." So shit. More shit than By Generation, but shit nonetheless, right? Shit nonetheless. So if you start to tell the truth, right, you do tend to have corporate media come after you. Like, my neighbor's trying to convince me that Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic. I said to him today, you've watched Tucker Carlson for years and years and years, and you've never mentioned that you don't trust him in terms of anti-Semitism. It's like never come up at all. And it's only really come up the moment that he became a genuine threat to a corporate narrative, a corporate establishment narrative. Same thing with Russell Brand. And again, there's one like leftist family, like not even leftist, Democrat family. We're friends with them, they're nice people. So I'm coming home from synagogue. I'm like, oh, this is so disgusting. And he's like, oh yeah. And he starts to take the piss. He says, what is it that you're okay that he did? Something like that. I said, I think the Jewish word is rechilat. I think rechilat is wrong, right? And again, the idea, and again, this is like as a specific, which is listening to gossip. This is like as specifically forbidden as eating bacon. In fact, there's more instances where it's permissible to eat bacon. There is no instance where it's permissible to listen to gossip, which is what this is, or disinformation. The instant and highly suspicious canceling Russell Brand is why no one sane or informed trusts the mainstream media. And I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but I like the fact he thinks for himself. Sure, this totally has nothing to do with calling out the unethical profits of the multinational pharmaceuticals or fading mainstream media's terrified of competition. Yeah, look, Tucker Carlson in that interview, which my friend was trying to tell me was the indication that he was anti-Semitic, was he said he doesn't think NBC News will be there in 10 years. I think he's probably right. Right, although he seems to have weathered this cancellation pretty well. In that we've all completely forgotten about it. September 28th, it was sad news. Remembering Dave McCallum, my personal best of this awesome actor. Yeah, very sad. We lost David McCallum this year. I love David McCallum. Invisible Man, Man from U.N.C.L.E., Sapphire and Steel. Just fantastic, right? Always delivering a good performance. I even liked him in the A-Team, playing essentially his Man from U.N.C.L.E. character. But yeah, he's always fantastic. And it always, they had a 1-2 punch. We also lost Michael Gambon. Remember Michael Gambon on his sad passing? I fucking love Michael Gambon, right? Singing Detective, Dumbledore. But yeah. Who do you think is going to win, Biden or Trump? I don't think there's going to... with American election in November, I reckon there is going to be a doubling down and shouting if Biden loses, and almost definitely if Trump wins. No one's going to accept the results of the election, right? They are not going to be universally accepted. Again, if Trump loses and he's removed from ballots in states, then you're going to see a breaking up of America, at the very least, probably a civil war. Right? If Trump wins and he's even after being removed from ballots, I think the Democrats will launch a military coup to save democracy. Right, I really think, and I think they'll all go along with it, right? I think that's what's going to happen. What I think will happen is Trump's going to be removed from some ballots, not all. Maybe the Supreme Court will get involved, maybe not, and they won't be removed from any. But I think basically he's going to win just because Biden is so much of a freaking disaster, and everybody's lives are so awful, right? I think Trump's going to win in a landslide, and I think there's going to be a military coup to stop him. All right, I really think we're going there. Good news for 2024. I saw a trailer for this thing called Argyle from Matthew Vaughn. New spy romp was starring Henry Cavill. Now Matthew Vaughn has a very good pedigree. He did He did Kingsman. I kind of reinvented the. He did Kingsman and somewhat reinvented the genre. Tyler Stein quite correctly says. If the election was fair, I'm assuming 2020, and there was no cheating, my money will be on Trump. But who's to say 2024 is going to be secure? And say, nobody trusts it, right? Nobody trusts it. One of the saddest things of the year. Oh, this really was a tragedy from October 6th. Rick and Morty season 7 trailer reaction. Is there any magic left with the creator Justin Roiland ousted? Spoiler warning. No, it is fucking awful. I didn't even watch the first episode. Tim Pool said no, it's the worst thing ever. Right? It's really genuinely terrible. Right? But all that kind of faded into insignificance as the world changed. Right? The world absolutely changed. I want to listen to a clip about it. Hang a minute. On October 7th, right? Freaked me the fuck out, mate. Like in a way that I generally got sick. I was shaking uncontrollably. Had a huge fever. It was unbelievable. Channel update from the front lines of this latest barbaric and horrific Hamas attack on Israel. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, here's like, here, I got this video clip here. I'm not going to play the full thing because it's like 10, 15 minutes long. But this is from Talk TV. And it talks about here. Yeah, it talks about the importance of it in England.
A geopolitical thing which I thought had a tremendous impact locally, and because revealing for the United Kingdom was obviously the invasion of Israel by Hamas on the 7th of October. And life, I don't think, will be the same in the Middle East after that, and nor will it be the same in the United Kingdom.
That's the point. I think it changed everything everywhere.
Because we have seen the impact of multiculturalism on the streets of the United Kingdom, and it's not a great look. It's not, we have a society now divided. Mass immigration in the way that we've practiced over the last 25 years has revealed not to be capable of being integrated, for society not to be capable of going forward as a homogeneous, harmonious one. With
honestly, this is the thing that was the demarcation point. This was the breaking, I think, between being a good or bad person, right? This is why I don't think Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic. It's because I've seen people be anti-Semitic. They're called Owen Jones, right? And when you make spurious, completely fictional claims about Israel and just with asserting that they're true constantly, you're anti-Semitic, right? So this became a major focus of the channel. Living in the footsteps of history in real time, a ground level view. Yeah, man, we went from not noticing anything to being in the blitz like overnight. It freaked me the fuck out, right? People the mask fell off the left. Pieces of shit like Owen Jones said, "Hey, everybody, I'm a racist piece of shit," right? And he is a racist piece of shit. That's of course my own opinion. Tenenbaum, Owen Jones, Jew-hating Hamas talking points on the horrors of the Hamas war. Look, they only cut the heads of Jewish, white colonial babies. What's the big deal? And the rush to create some kind of moral equivalency between the Israel and Hamas has been sickening. Like genuinely sickening. Right? It's when there clearly is none, right? And like, oh, look how many babies Israel killed. Israel's killed no babies. Hamas has killed them all, right? It's like how they refuse to look at any facts and they just want to be right because they're racist cunts, right? They are racist cunts. On the upside, though, I was plowing through the season 20 Blu-ray. Border Undead, just fantastic. All of this was fantastic, right? One of the greatest Doctor Who Blu-ray sets ever released. It was a good distraction at the early part of the war, I can tell you. I love this one. An unearthly controversy over an unearthly child. If you're in England, you get like the whole Hooniverse on iPlayer. Right, you get all classic, all modern, get everything. If you're outside, you get the 4 specials if you're lucky on Disney Plus. I hope they're going to be able to get the classic or something on Disney Plus. It seems ridiculous the way they're doing it. But one episode you're not getting is an unearthly child. The son of Maurice Coburn, I believe, who wrote it, feels that he was fucked over by the BBC, and he didn't give them permission. I know he also not to put out any DVDs or Blu-ray box sets. And that's how I think where it's staying right now. I mean, and people are mad at him. I don't really see why, frankly, right? It's a petty business decision generated by animosity, and that animosity is probably well come by. I mean, it is the BBC, after all, right? So, no unearthly child, no problem. We can just remake it for modern audiences with AI. Of course, you remake it for modern audiences, then you'd have Bill Hartnell getting his kit off, right? For Stephen or Ian to suck him off, right? Because that's what modern Who is all about. So the Israel-Hamas war continues on and on. I think the 22nd, right? 22nd of October. I had a special mission I went on that I wasn't allowed to say anything about. It was my son's wedding in literally the temporary base in the middle of a field, literally in the field, right? You can see the tank in the background has flowers in it. It was decorated by some local kids. It was a lovely wedding, right? It was a lovely wedding. It was so much better than what we had planned. So yeah, I'm all up for that. BBC News and legacy media become a laughing stock from the coverage of Israel-Hamas war. Yes, they do. Right? The sketch at the top when they realize, like, from the river to the sea means kill all the Jews, right? And then I love how the Israelis take the piss out of the BBC. So unfair. So, and they just lie and this was when Hamas had misfired one of their many missiles. By the way, anybody who's saying, "Oh, it is a genocide happening in Gaza. The Israelis are performing a genocide in Gaza," right? Anybody screaming that? Well, it can't be that bad because they haven't surrendered, right? If there was a genocide going on, you surrender, right? That's the only way of stopping it, right? Just surrender. Give us back the bodies of the hostages and whoever you have left, right? We'll take them all, and then we're going to have to kill, everybody involved in the raid, right? And destroy Hamas and destroy all the weaponry, right? If it's not good enough, if it's not bad enough to do that, then stop your fucking whining. Oh, pussy cunts, right? I mean, really? I think the word Hamas means pussy cunt in Galzan, because they are pussy cunts. TARDIS Tales, new era unveils awesome classic Doctor Who. So this was interesting, by the way. What a great thumbnail. Doctor, are you still staring at my tits? You're saying it like it's a bad thing. I'm still staring at your tits, darling. Maybe now the lost story pair in the Time Road for Love can finally be told. So TARDIS Tales was a way of trying to get people to watch old Doctor Who, essentially. Editing them together, using new special effects when they had them from DVDs, with intros from people of that era. It's something to do with the bi-generation bullshit. It's kind of a nice way of presenting new Doctor Who. It's a good idea that didn't really work, essentially, right? A good idea that didn't really work. By the time we get to November 1st, this was fascinating, right? Where you see liberal Jews realize how much they back the wrong horse, right? And I did the whole thing. I connected this to By the Rivers of Babylon, which was a song of lament from the first exile from Israel, right? When Mayim Bialik realizes how, me too, unless you're a Jew, right? All those mass rapes, nothing mattered because they were Jews and they had it coming to them. The real-time tragic implosion of liberal Jewry from the unabashed Jew hatred spawned by the Israel-Hamas war. Yeah. And listen, look, if you're Muslim, this has not made you look good, may I say. This is not like fucking up Christmas for everyone whenever you could. It was not a good look for you, okay, if I may say so. So now we're in Whovember, right? Whovember, and Rusty Davis is like, how can I tell everybody I'm going to fuck this up? But I say, don't worry, I won't let anybody ever erase the time of the show. Icky thump! Although I think you're probably lying. Well, bit of both, really. Yes, I probably am. Daleks in color. Russell Davis speaks and doesn't say anything good. And then the fateful time came. Right, the fateful time came. We saw the premiere of this. Oh no, this was Countdown to the Starbase. We didn't know how bad it would be. But we did find out, right? We did find out. What do we have? We have Holiday Camp of the Daleks, full recap of the review of the 14th Doctor First Adventure. Millie looking fantastic as always, right? Such a good thumbnail model. So if this was a review of the 14th Doctor's First Adventure, the rather turgid liberation of the Daleks, it was just shit, right? It was just absolute shit. Don't be afraid to go continental, darling, and get rid of those tan lines. I like that Doctor's looking out for Millie there, right? I think, look, just you want to look good, darling. You want to look good. So then we finally get to start seeing Rossley Davis's new Doctor Who, and it's not good, right? We get to see the Children in Need Davros sketch, and Rossley Davis poops the beds. Fan rejects his new and insanely boring take on the boring and forgettable take on Davros. The Stars poops the bed, been doing it for years and loving it, makes them all warm. Will DC Movers poop the bed? Who knows? Oh yes, Disney Doctor Who will be a great success. Just like Disney Stars, Disney Marvel. You're a fucking moron, you woke, ableist, bigoted cunt. Yeah, you are a woke, ableist, bigoted cunt, right? So then we saw Strike 2, right? Strike 2 of the new era. Preview of the Daleks, and it wasn't very good. I'm sorry. At no point did I feel like it was filmed in color. Distracted, didn't like the edit, didn't like the music. But I like this thumbnail of Millie Gibson. Oh, my fluid links, what are you wearing now, darling? I'm just here to cheer you on. Well, good for you, Millie. Good for you, right? Oppenheimer, holy crap, it's a good movie. I saw this here by November 23rd. Then Thanksgiving. Oh, Nicola, again, this is before I've discovered face swapping. Picking over the left of the Russell Thanksgiving turkey. Unhinged outrage at Doctor Who's failed relaunch. What does hashtag RIP Doctor Who mean anyway? It means we doctored it. People think that the Doctor Who they fell in love with was dead. That's what they mean, again, which it might well be, right? And we've already filmed the next season and are filming the season after now. It means no one cares anymore, just like Disney Star Wars or the MCU. Sadly, yes. But then we have some good news on November 29th, right? November 29th. Javier Millie, Argentina's new president, is awesome and bonkers and wonderful. Freaking love this guy. And he's so pro-Jewish. Oh, yeah. I'm a big proponent of this guy. He got rid of a bunch of regulations and the food prices fell at 15% overnight. So, So I'm going to be doing some more in-depth reviews of this. Doctor Who Season 14 has just started coming out. Vastly superior to the Doctor Who that's been on TV, right? Vastly superior. Although I haven't listened to the second story yet. So, but I assume it will be. So the Star Beast happened and it was shit, right? And it was unwatchable shit. Okay, Meep, let's join the culture war. You've already lost it, you Nazi fuck. Right? It's already over, right? It's already over. Yes, and there's no question we're on the right side of history and totally not losing. You're totally losing. Yeah, look, you may have captured Doctor Who as a cultural franchise, but look at the ratings, right? Now again, I talk about the Mobius loop of ratings. Is it Shooter's fault that the ratings are low? I don't think so. Is it Doctor Who's fault the ratings low? I think so. Right? Why are the ratings low? Because the people who make TV are politically obsessed and they hate the people who are their audience, and they made TV that has alienated them, essentially driving people away from TV. So they've halved their audiences through shows like Doctor Who. So it is kind of their idea, right? Looking back at the Star Beast 1 week on, an epic shitting the pants for us. Like, it is epic fail. Right, absolutely epic fail. So the next, so then we started looking forward to Dr. Pirate Generated into Dr. Gay. Blimey, this is before it came out. Bonkers rumor that are probably true hits the press. Turns out it was true, right? Get ready for the guest Doctor Who Christmas ever. That's true. This was a guest Doctor Who Christmas, and that's with me dressed like this. If only, Millie. If only. Oh, I would be a proponent of that. So then we get to the second new episode, Wild Blue Yonder, and it's not that great. Look, they spent a lot of money on it, but it still didn't look that good. You had Indian Isaac Newton and Mavity, right? It was all reasonably shitty, right? It just wasn't very good. This one effect cost more than the entire budget for Midnight, but was it money well spent? No, it wasn't, right? Again, this whole anniversary season has been a massive dud, right? A massive, massive, massive dud. With bits of brilliance, but generally speaking, just a massive dud. I found the shooting up with stuff to be far superior, right? Really, absolutely far superior. But even this story, even though it's quite a good spooky dooky episode, it hits you in the face right at the beginning with race-swapped Isaac Newton, and then the stupidity that is Mavity, which is an important plot point. So I said, this is the new Perry. I don't want to go, and I'm never going to. He's not, apparently. What the hell is going on here? I'm Perry now. You have a problem with that? You're a bigot. I don't have a problem with that, Perry. I'm fine. In fact, you and original Perry, if you want to get, cozy, I would be up for that. Bit of chocolate vanilla swirl. I think I could be up for that, darling. Speaking of being up for that, there you go. Millie Gibson here. Counting down to the giggle. The episode all the fan have been waiting for is here, and with it controversy that many fear will be the final end of what we knew as Doctor Who. Well, kind of was, really. They say I was the worst sober than ever. Really? Hold my beer. You're probably going to need a stiff drink for tonight. Oh, Billy, you look fantastic. I should have done that little thing in her eyebrow that she's missing, like that little chunk. Okay, so this is where I've really... unfortunately, this AI engine isn't available anymore, right? But I use it to its hilt, right? The Giggle full recap. Indiana Jones and the original ending of Dune. The end of Doctor Who canon. Yes, this is the end of Doctor Who canon. There are no more fixed points in time. And now we see the only canon is the head canon. That is the rules of the new era, right? Which means the Rabbi's Perry's Sexual Adventures in Moulin Rouge is now as canon as the Timeless Children. Yes, it is, right? And hurrah for that, right? Again, Perry looking fantastic, darling. So that was we're into December now. Obviously, it's December 14th. We're looking forward to Christmas. Well, is there ready for gay Doctor Who? He's so gay, right? Shooting Gatwa looks authentic as a Doctor, but he also super gay. Can this work? So far, actually, yes, it did. Right? It actually amazingly did. Back in the 80s, I was hired to be something for the dads. Now, 2023. That's my job. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Another great piece of marketing merchandise this year was the Fraser Hines audiobook of Evil of the Daleks. Love this. Absolutely love this. This was told basically from Jamie's point of view. It wasn't told in real time. This was just before Zoe joined the TARDIS. They had a rerun of Evil of the Daleks, and they did it in story by having Patrick Troughton put this big head thing on that read his memories of the Evil of the Daleks, right? So you have all these little interludes in the TARDIS in between each episode. The episodes are written from James' perspective, and they're just very good, right? It's very, 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 very good. Yeah, look, totally worth a month at Audible, right? This is I was really, really impressed with this. More of this. I like to see Fraser Hines do like a Tomb of the Cybermen. Apparently, it was also written by Stephen Cole, which would make a lot of sense. Also, a great bit of Doctor Who audio was Doctor Who, the Toy Maker's Script, as a short book on tape read by an AI deepfake of Peter Capaldi. This is, may I say, awesome. It was my own invention. It makes everything from 2017 to current make sense. It talks about the toy maker's arrival in this realm as the Doctor's regenerating on the fields of World War One, and then on December 25th, we got to see the new era of Doctor Who and much controversy, right? The problem being says, well, Doctor Who is too gay for a gay man, but not the rabbi. Well, there you go, right? Because I'm not really noticing the gay, right? I'm just trying to look at it as an adventure. I imagine watching it with kids. So yeah, we got the Church on Ruby Road, the new era of Doctor Who, and a lot of controversy with it. A lot of people say it's not Doctor Who at all. I don't think it's the same Doctor Who as John Pertwee Doctor Who. I agree with you there. I think what they did with this is they pared it down to its basic essentials, which was an adventure in the TARDIS, a romantic adventure in the TARDIS, and best friend having adventures, and they're trying to imagine what that looked like in 2023, 2024. And apparently that just means it looks like Doctor Who, but the main character is a gay masturbatory fantasy, right? And he is, but he's also quite authoritative as a doctor. So I don't know, listen, I'm watching it as a curious. I'm watching it the same way I watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which, man, what a disappointment that was. Right, season 2. Season 1, excellent. Season 2, cack. Right, so I'm watching it as a curio, seeing where it goes. I don't imagine myself buying the Blu-rays or action figures, but I'm open-minded for them to talk me around, right? Essentially, I am open-minded, but that's about it, really. And then, the other big things of the year were Rebel Moon. I don't know why I don't have that up. And again, that got so much freaking hate. But I enjoyed it, right? I genuinely enjoyed Rebel Moon, right? Ricky Gervais comedy special, and also Dave Chappelle, which I watched today. Thankfully, nothing there I found, would make it not work for me. So there you go. So that's essentially the 2023. A year of more disappointment, much more disappointments than successes. The successes are few and far between. There's this, right? By a Toy Maker Story, but Dr. Alex. But and minor successes like Evil of the Daleks. But I'm going back over this 6 months, see if there's anything I will say, yeah, that was a big success. Not really, right? No, this was a success. This looks good, but I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, so look, the successes were very thin on the ground, right? And again, the weird shit was everywhere. Like the Firing Maui, I call weird shit. And things were more like this year, more like Doomsday, right? They were just like, why are we doing more of this? I don't know. And even when they did pan something, it wasn't really that bad. See, this was a success, season 20. But yeah, man, we're done. Right. So, okay, the high spots of the year in terms of genre was Star Trek Picard season 3, the final season, and Silo. Pretty much everything else was cack, right? Pretty much everything else was cack. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet! Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.